You know, in the NFL, speed isn't just an attribute, it's a weapon. It's the one thing that can completely change the math on the field, turning a routine play into a game-breaking touchdown in the blink of an eye. Seriously, one bad angle, one missed tackle, and it is all over.
So let's think about this for a second. If you had to boil the entire game down to one single thing, what would you say is the most unstoppable force in football? Is it a quarterback's cannon arm, pure brute strength in the trenches?
Nope. It's this. Pure, raw, unfiltered speed. The kind of speed that makes world-class defenders look like they're just stuck in the mud. So we're going to count down the 10 players who use that speed better than anyone else in NFL history. And we're starting with a guy who completely reinvented his position. Kicking us off at number 10, we've got Michael Vick. And look, Vick wasn't just fast for a quarterback. No. He was genuinely, terrifyingly fast for anybody on the field. You had this guy with a rocket for an arm, incredible vision, and this just wild elusiveness. It forced defensive coordinators to literally invent new schemes, like dedicating a player to be a spy just to try and keep up with him. He really did change the game.
All right, at number 9, we have an absolute force of nature, Bo Jackson. Bo might just be the greatest pure athlete to ever set foot on a football field. I mean, watching him run was something else. You'd see linebackers literally bounce off of him, while defensive backs would just give up on the chase. It was that insane mix of freight train power and world-class speed that made him so dangerous.
Coming in at number 8 is Devin Hester. And with Devin Hester, the rule was simple. Everybody knew it. If you kicked the football of this man, you had already made a huge, catastrophic mistake. He is without a doubt the greatest return man to ever play the game. All he needed was one tiny crease, just a sliver of daylight, and see ya, he was gone. A true legend on special teams.
At number 7, we've got the only active player on our list, Tyreek Hill. I mean, they call him the cheetah, and it's for a very good reason. With Tyreek, it's not even just about his top speed. It's his acceleration, how he goes from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat. Defenses know exactly what's coming. They plan for it all week, and they are still completely powerless to stop him. You blink, and he's already doing a backflip in the end zone.
All right, number 6 is the man they called CJ2K, Chris Johnson. He got that nickname after running for over 2,000 yards in a single season, and he did it all on the back of his pure, untouchable, straight-line speed. Once he found an opening and hit that second gear, the play was over. It was done. There was absolutely no catching him from behind. Cracking our top 5 is the definition of longevity himself, Darrell Green. This guy's speed, I swear, it seemed to defy the laws of time. Even deep into his 30s, even at 40 years old, he was still one of the fastest players in the entire league. He was famous for this one thing, chasing down running backs from behind on what looked like a guaranteed touchdown. It's a nearly impossible thing to do, but he made it look routine. Number 4 is a player who was a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare, Randy Moss. Moss didn't just beat defensive backs with his speed, he flat out embarrassed them. His vertical speed was so terrifying that it warped entire defensive philosophies. He's the reason the cover 2 defense became so popular. Teams were just trying to keep him from getting over the top. If you were a cornerback and you let him get even one step on you, well, you were already giving up 6 points.
Our number 3 spot goes to another quarterback who is totally redefining the position, Lamar Jackson. Seriously, watching Lamar run is like watching a star wide receiver who just happens to be taking the snap from center. His cuts are absolutely lethal, and his acceleration, it's just unfair, plain and simple. You can see it on the film. Defenders will hesitate for just a split second, and in that tiny moment, Lamar is already 10 yards downfield.
Coming in at number 2, we have Bullet Bob Hayes. Now, before he was a Hall of Fame receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, he was an Olympic gold medal winning sprinter. Let that sink in. A literal world-class track star who just decided to go play football. His speed was so legendary, so far beyond anyone he played against, that he really was a man ahead of his time. And this is what really puts his speed into perspective. Think about this. Hayes was doing all of this on torn-up grass fields, sometimes just total mud pits. He was wearing heavier, clunkier equipment. This was all before modern sports science, specialized trainers, and the perfect turf fields we see today. Can you just imagine what his times would look like if he played in the modern era? It's staggering to think about.
And that brings us to number 1, prime time, Deion Sanders. Look, when you're talking about the fastest player to ever step onto a football field, this is the name that ends the argument. He is, by pretty much any measure you can think of, the undisputed king of gridiron speed.
And what made him so amazing was how he used that speed. He wasn't just a lockdown corner who could completely erase one side of the field. Oh no, he was an electric punt and kick returner. He could even line up on offense as a wide receiver and burn you deep. Any single time primetime touched the football, the entire stadium would hold its breath because you knew something incredible was about to happen.
These three words right here, they sum up Deion Sanders perfectly. His entire game was built on a foundation of elite, world-class speed. But then it was amplified by this unmatched swagger that all came together to create a legacy as the fastest to ever play the game.
You see, Deion's legacy, and the legacy of every single player on this list, it's a testament to what speed really does to the game of football. First and foremost, it breaks angles. The pursuit lines that defenders drill into their brains their entire careers, they just become totally irrelevant. Second, it absolutely destroys defenses. All the planning, all the film study, all the complex schemes, it can all be blown up in a single moment by one guy who is just flat out faster than everybody else.
And finally, it creates legends. Every player we talked about today is remembered not just for being great, but for having that one transcendent quality, that blinding speed that made them seem almost superhuman. But hey, this is always a debate, right? We've laid out our top 10, but now the ball is in your court. Who do you think was the fastest player to ever lace them up? Did we miss anybody? Let us know what you think.